Greetings, YouTube. Welcome to episode 329 of the 4,000 Question Challenge. Do you favor reduction in size and budget of all government agencies? No. I feel that some government agencies could probably be reduced. Others should be expanded. Others should be left just like they are. It all depends on the agency. It all depends what they do. It all depends how successful they are. So there's not going to be a blanket. That shouldn't be a one-way thing. Some need to be smaller. For example, the U.S. military needs to be a hell of a lot smaller, less than half of what it is now. And other agencies like OSHA, they need to be a lot bigger. We need more rangers and more Coast Guard. We need more doctors and nurses and teachers. I'm all working for the U.S. government, making sure that we're educated and healthy. We need more people taking care of our kids and child services, protective services. We need more in the social services sector, as far as making sure that people have access to all the types of social security, social safety nets they need. So it depends on the agency. Do you refuse to cross picket lines? Yes. How fearful are you of terrorism? Not at all. Well, at least not the foreign terrorism kind. The domestic terrorism, angry white men with semi-automatic firearms, I think they're a real danger. And there's not a thing I can do about it. But I think they're a real danger, and we should be doing what we can to mitigate that. For example, banning semi-automatic firearms and making sure everyone has access to mental health services free at the point of delivery. So I think terrorism is an issue, and we need to be working on it, and we aren't. But foreign terrorism? Not in the least. What should be done to clean up landmines? Well, there are programs designed to do that. In some countries, they even use trained rats. But we should be working on that, and we should also ban the use of landmines completely. Landmines should never be used again by any military on this planet, and we should do everything we can to make sure that every landmine that exists at the moment out there in the wild is retrieved or detonated. What was the best debate you ever watched? I don't really watch debates. I think it's, for the most part, it's political performance art. It doesn't really matter in my book. I look at the politicians' past. I look at the issues. I look at what they say, their words, and their history of legislation they support, and that's what I base my decisions on. What do you think about abortion when pregnancy was caused by a rape or incest? Boy, this author loves abortion questions. So I'll say this again, in case you have not. This is the only episode you've watched of this particular series. That would be weird. It's 329, but okay. Anything up to the first 24 weeks, a woman should have an abortion for any reason she wants. No restrictions. Up to 24 weeks. Gone. And after that, so long as there's two doctors signing off on a late-term abortion, they should be legal and available everywhere as well. How can society prevent the spread of sexually transmitted diseases? I would suggest comprehensive education, science-based education, and the availability of birth control and prophylactics at the point of delivery, free to everybody. Anybody who wants oral or barrier-style birth control should have it available whenever they want it. What event raised your understanding of the larger world? Not sure it was a specific event. I became a student of history when I was still a teenager, so I began to learn about the histories of science and the history of other countries and the history of how we developed where we are today, and I began to read some philosophy. So I'm not sure I could say that it was a single event. Like fantasy got me into some of the softer interests, and science fiction got me into some of the harder interests. So I guess it came out of my fiction reading when I was younger. What direction do you think the country is going in? Well, at the moment of this filming, it's May 11th, 2020. We are controlled by rampant racism, but we're in a pandemic, and idiots are trying to kill us. Our president is a white nationalist, And that flag behind me is there because I'm not going to take it down until we're no longer being controlled by a Nazi regime. So not well. How do you stand on the issue of abortion, and are you pro-life or pro-choice? We had an abortion questions like 4 questions ago. But again, up to 24 weeks, a woman should have the right to have an abortion for any reason she chooses with no restrictions. I'm pro-choice. You know the beautiful thing about pro-choice? One of the choices you can take is to not have an abortion while being anti-abortion, because there's no such thing as pro-life. These people don't give a shit about the life of the woman carrying the fetus. It's that they're about restricting your options. I am about opening up your options. Because being pro-choice means you don't have to have an abortion, but you can if you need it or you want it. Alrighty, so thank you for being here for episode 329 of the 4,000 Question Challenge. I hope that you will be here for episode 330